They've pinned one back. They've got 4 out so far, and they've pinned one of the 4 back.
Looks like, Wayne, they actually have 11 they pulled back from the initial sort. And like you said, they pinned one back to have a chance at the top placings in this last and final class of the Berkshire Purebred Gilts here today. He went ahead and pinned the young man in the green. That'll be 2.
Yeah, the Berkshire.
Actually, maybe 3. He pinned the young lady in the light grayish blue as well.
Oh, man.
So we have 3 pinned back. We have 11 total, Wayne, in this class.
And the Berkshire breed today headed up a total of 272 total that they have evaluated today.
That's a little over 100 less than what the Durocs were, correct?
Yeah, the Durocs are almost 400.
Yeah, so
we're about
130 off, give or take a few.
But still a nice size breed.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I'm sure the Yorkshire breed and that will be big tomorrow as well. You think the Yorks? Or?
I think the Spots are going to be
your biggest
because
breed.
They're the only other ones that have 2 divisions.
Got you.
So if you had tuned into the crosses, the cross show headed up 500 approximately, about 540 head
on
the cross show.
And that cross show over there at the other barn and the east barn over here, those crosses are deep. Those gilts are good too.
Oh yeah.
And don't they have a cross sale as well?
Yes, they do. And who knows? I wouldn't be surprised at some point down the road that there's some discussion at San Antonio about adding the purebreds to it possibly. But I'm not saying that that's been discussed. I'm just saying it's something I could forecast that someday.
They've got 6 pinned back right now, Wayne, for a chance at the top placings in this last and final class of Berkshire Gilts. Be interesting to see if they start placing from the bottom up from here. So that'd be 7th through 11th. Ten of these placings will receive a nice ribbon. They're talking it out right now.
Of course, everyone tune in for tomorrow. Today the judges did 25 classes. Tomorrow there will be 19 classes, and then it'll be followed by the judging of the Supreme and Reserve Supreme.
3rd, 4th, and 5th overall too, correct? Of the entire Purebred Gilts.
I'm not sure on that one.
3rd, 4th, and 5th overall. I'm pretty sure they do. 3rd, 4th, and 5th overall.
Well, they'll also, I know off the top, they're going to do the presentation of all the
scholarships. That's fun to watch. They set out a table and set all the awards out and give them to the kids. They take pictures with all the committee members that show up on the swine committee. So it really is a cool thing, and they get cheered for and everything else before they even go in the ring and show. So it's a fun thing to watch. So they're down to 8th place is going to go to the young lady in the black with pink pants. And I think they're going to leave this young lady in the black. Oh, nope, they're going to place her as well. So she'll be 7th. Now they're down to their final 6 here in this final class. And they're going to place from the bottom up here. And nothing's going to get pinned back at this point. They're going to place them. Now that they have all 6 out there in this final class of Berkshire Purebred Gilts, they are going to kind of evaluate them a little bit, and now they're going to start placing them. Once again, introducing our judges again today. Our lead judge today is Mr. Blaine Olson, and our secondary judge is Mr. Kyle Connaught. Both of these boys are from Illinois, and both actually went to Lakeland College before they went on to their respective universities in Illinois. Both are very big family men, and both raise and produce very competitive livestock in the boar stud and the swine industry. I want to welcome them. I'm going to kind of give you guys another bio about them tomorrow, but want to thank them for taking the time to come down here to San Antonio and evaluating these breeding gilts here. Young lady in the gray is going to be 6th. Grayish blue. I guess there's 2 young ladies in kind of a grayish blue right now. Young lady in the black is going to be 5th. Young man in the green is going to be 4th. Now we're down to our final 3 here. Young lady's going to be 3rd. Judges are taking their time in these final 2, in this final class of the day.
Which one is it in the blue?
Young man in the green is 2nd, and the young man in the blue, he's going to be your class winner. Congratulations to all these individuals here today. Let's hear from Mr. Olson.
Well, it's nice to see the very, very competitive in our last class here, and we're getting them, you know, we talk about getting them big and stout and wanting to keep them fresh and wanting to keep them correct, and I think the 2 gilts and even a couple more that come do so good at that. And of the 2, that they give us that presence, that look, and all the things that we've talked about. The young man closer to me, she just excels the gilt there in 2nd in a place or 2. When she comes at me, I prefer her there. I think this one travels on a bigger hind leg. I think she stays more comfortable throughout the drive. She's still good looking. She's really good when we get on top of her as far as her shape. Her flesh is right, in my opinion. It just kind of all fits together. The young man in the green shirt that's going to be 2nd has a version of her, I think. One that still gives us, again, an appropriate look. One that gets out and goes. I thought as they drove just a little longer, she labored just a little more for me, for the way she wanted to just go out of her front end. I didn't know that she just blended quite as good in her top line. Great big square, good hind leg working in that one. Awfully good pair at the top end. Young Ladies Gilted comes next is one, there's some parts and pieces of this one that we like an awful lot. You love her density, you love her heaviness of skeleton. When you get on top of her again, that's one that's muscular, that's one that's shapely, that's one that's powerful. I think the longer the drive wore on, she wore out, but the reason for that is she was always just a notch tighter in her spine, a notch tighter in her skeleton. She had to work harder from the onset to go and just to get it all to work. That one's skin, that one's hair, that one's presentation is awfully good. We just got to lay her spine in her. We just got to make her more comfortable from front to rear. This one comes in, and again, one that has some intriguing pieces. Great big forearm working in her, great big blade working in this one. Again, you get on top of this one, and her spread's good. She's got a big hind leg working on her. Kyle and I kind of step back, and we just talk about them, though. I thought this one came in just another piece or two for us. When you get back and you just kind of compare this one to the couple that are ahead of her, she's just not quite as good when we study her there at the top side of her shoulder. She doesn't blend quite as good there. She's one that wants to come in just a bit in her knee when you study her from here going forward, a little softer in her front foot. Rear 2/3 of that one's awfully good. Young man does a really nice job. The gilt that comes next is one that you really have to like just for her look from her side. Her boldness when you study her there in the center part. You step in behind and she sure got muscle. I thought she planed some as we took her to the surface. I didn't think she stayed just quite as comfortable, just quite as correct in her travel, but still one that's awfully good for the young lady. The one that comes next, great big stout bold one. I mean, she is without question the biggest, the most robust one we find in this particular drive. I think one that darn sure warrants being in the top end of this class. I just thought as the drive wore on, she looked just a little more mature about her head. She didn't just blend and bounce, didn't just go quite as good. Young lady did an awesome job with her, got all the miles she could out of her. Really a nice kind of Berkshire gilt to come fifth in this particular drive. Like I said, we talked to them as they went in. The kids did an awesome job. Let's put our hands together. Let's congratulate them as this last class heads back. Really a good group of kids and good group of pigs.
That concludes our final class of the day. Now we're doing the light and the heavyweight division, followed by the overall selection of our Berkshire Purebred Breeding Gilts. 10th place in that final class went to Clara Farrell. 9th place was shown by Kelly Darling. 8th place went to Carla Vasquez. I apologize, Carla. 7th place went to Addison Williams. 6th place was exhibited by Elizabeth Harkins. 5th place was shown by Gentry Lockie. 4th place went to Dallas Martinez. 3rd place was shown by Sawyer Omby. 2nd place went to Cooper Sands. And our class winner in our final class was awarded to Zane Byers from Hale County 4-H. Congratulations to all those individuals. Now we're going to pull all our first places out in our lightweight division, which consists of class 17 through 21. That's 5 classes. And pick our lightweight division champion and reserve champion, followed by, I think, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. I'm not sure what they changed after the Durocs to see what we're going to do, but I know that they are going to do a great job at it. Then we're going to follow that up with the 4 classes of heavies and pick those same things. And like I said earlier, followed by the overall selection of our Berkshire Purebred Breeding Gilts, and that'll conclude the day today. And then we're going to go on tomorrow and judge the Spots, Hollands, Chesters, Yorks, and Herefords.
Yes. Can we look at this?
We get back out here in the top 5 of our first division of Berkshires. We had several classes of these, and the quality was deep. Every class had something that we could be awful proud of, and several, in most instances, really high-quality gilts and stuff to talk through. I think as we get them back out here, it kind of makes sense. We've got gilts that fit the right kind, in our opinion, and hogs that have look, and hogs that have the ability to go in general, and then they kind of sort, just adding the extras and putting, all the things we talk about as far as bone and stoutness and feature, keeping them really, really good in their look, really good in their presence, and still having muscle. Obviously, at these lighter weights, we want to keep them immature and keep them good, just from their blade forward, but also keep them good and keep them correct. We think there's one out here that just has those extras. When you couple that with being just a shot longer in her hip and just the way she wants to use her hock from the side, and yes, she's still so stout in her feature. She's neat in her look. Young lady right here in the blue shirt's going to have your champion. Well, this division's awfully deep and awfully good. We dropped that gilt out, and she sure doesn't take anything from the conversation. We thought there was probably 3 that really kind of surfaced as to go 1, 2, and 3. And there's one out here that pushes our champion awfully, awfully hard. One that's very good when we get on top of her as far as her presentation and the way she's just put together. And she's so good out of the back of her blade. She's so opened up and bold. One that's still really neat in her look. I think she's got an awful bright future as well. Young man right here in front of me is going to be reserved.
That concludes our lightweight division. Now we're going to move on to the heavyweight division, and we'll get you the names of those individuals here shortly. Now we're moving on. There's 4 classes that make up the heavyweight division now.
We get out here for our final division today in the Berkshires, and we get 4 class winners that, again, represent a lot of good. And we talked about taking them to bigger, heavier weights, but keeping them comfortable, keeping them correct in the way they're put together, keeping them appropriate as far as their look and just their presence up front. And then it always helps if we can keep them, conditioned right and keep some shape in them. So I think these 4 do that. There's some variations as far as stoutness of feature and just look and just the way they're put together. But I think they're 4 awfully high quality individuals that deserve to get a second, third, and even 4th look. It's going to be fun to see how this entire division kind of shakes out. There are a lot of good, high-quality gilts in this particular division. With that said, we come back out and we get the 4 of these back together, and Kyle and I kind of talked about it, and we just think there's one that does all the things I just talked about, pushes things to the limit, and yet keeps it in check. One that's stayed fresh, one that's stayed comfortable, one that's still good in her built, and has taken it to this bigger size. Young man right here is going to have your champion.
Zane Byers was your champion heavyweight division Berkshire Gilt. Comes from a wonderful family.
was we dropped that second in. That was a competitive class and really a high-quality gilt that comes in the ring, and she sure fits the mold of what we've been talking about, and she darn sure just quickly becomes a part of the conversation. I guess when Kyle and I talk about them, and you just talk about, what we've said and what we've done, and it just continue to talk about keeping them correct in the way they're put together, keep a big hind leg working in them, keep them comfortable, keep them good coming at us, keep them good in their ham loin. Young lady right here is going to have your reserve.
Congratulations to Reese Mabry, who's your reserve champion heavyweight division, Berkshire Gilt. That concludes our heavyweight division. Now we're going to move into the overall selection of our Berkshire breed. You'll have 2 pigs out there at any given time. You have your heavyweight and your lightweight division competing for the champion overall, followed by the reserve champion overall Berkshire, then 3rd, 4th, and 5th overall Berkshire.
Okay, as we begin our champion and reserve champion drive here, our one that won the champion lightweight division is Maddie Mendoza, and the sire is Top It Off 24-1 from JDF Farms. Our heavyweight division champion, exhibited by Zane Byers, is Lake Effect 39-8 is the sire of his, and the breeder is Travis and Adriana Platt. Congratulations to both of these breeders for 2 really outstanding Berkshire breeding gilts out here that are competing for $10,000.
And I don't think it's going to take him long. And he's ready to go.
We come out for our champion in this Berkshire division, and we've been obviously looking at him for the last 15 or 20 minutes, and it's neat to see the pair of these come together because just quality is really, really fun to watch and fun to study. There's small differences that sort them, but I think they're both gilts that are very, very good in their own right. Kyle and I kind of talked through them, and we just think there's one that does it to a higher level. She actually travels on a better hind leg, in our opinion, and she's so big and so stout, and yet she stays comfortable and correct in the way she's put together. Big one's going to be your champion.
Congratulations to Zane Bowers for exhibiting the champion Berkshire, and to Travis and Adriana Platt at Upper Hand Genetics for breeding and this fine Berkshire Gilt. Now we have the second place, or the reserve champion heavyweight coming out. That was exhibited by Reese Mabry. And it's a Top It Off 24-1. The breeder Ken and Garrett Cole from Indiana.
All the things we like about her. I think there's one out here that pushed our champion awfully hard. She's unique in a lot of areas. For sure, we'd fix them all in a place or two. I think she's very, very good. I think she's going to continue to get better. Young lady right here is going to have your reserve.
So our reserve champion, Berkshire, goes to our lightweight, Manny Mendoza. And the sire of it was Top It Off 24-1. Congratulations to the breeder, JDF Farms out of Texas. We'll go on to our third overall.
Reese Mabry.
And that goes to Reese Mabry. That's a Top It Off 24-1 sire to fly. And the breeder is Ken and Garrett Cole from Indiana. Our third place, our third heavyweight, third overall heavyweight was our fourth overall Berkshire Gilt. It was a Top It Off 24-1. The breeder, Brandon Gerber at Illinois. Congratulations.
Well, that concludes our day one of the Purebred Breeding Gilts. Look forward to seeing you all bright and early in the morning at 7 a.m. with our spot breed to start us off. So once again, we want to say thank you to everybody who tuned in and look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Our fifth overall was Cashton Klein.
The sire is Off the Chain 2-1. It was bred by Russell Canese and Morgan Davis from Texas. Congratulations.
Have a great evening, everybody, and be safe.